Today we will discuss the 2014 movie Gone Girl and the mental illness of Amy Dunn. The movie begins with Nick Dunn, played by Ben Affleck, finding out his wife, Amy, played by Rosamund Pike, has gone missing. Amy's disappearance becomes national news because of the famous book series based on her life written by her parents, Amazing Amy. Many suspects were brought in during the investigation of her disappearance, but soon all the attention would be on her husband, Nick, when her personal diary was found by the police. The diary shared information on their troubling marriage. The diary was planted by Amy to be seen as a good wife and portrays Nick being an abusive husband to Amy. The diary portrays Amy being optimistic and happy even in a terrible marriage. Nick and his twin sister Margot know that not to be true because of Amy's odd, distant, and unexplainable behavior in the past years. Also, another side of Amy, the real Amy, is left for Nick in the form of a scavenger hunt that she does every year for him for their anniversary. Throughout the hunt, Amy takes Nick into their past and shows him her real unhappy feelings during those events. Nick finally concludes that Amy has planned her own disappearance and plans to end it by committing suicide and stage a suicide to make it look like her terrible husband snapped and murdered her. Amy creates lies and evidence against Nick that she has been planning out for over a year. Amy even goes as far as murdering her ex-boyfriend Desi after using him for his home and money to keep up with the plan of staging her own murder. But suddenly Amy returns home, bruised and battered, and fabricates a new story accusing Desi of kidnapping her and holding her captive and raping her. Even though evidence doesn't add up to this new story, the police move on. But Nick is reluctant and threatens to leave Amy if she doesn't tell the truth. But Amy's plan is not over. She blackmails Nick to stay with her, and their unstable marriage continues. Throughout the movie, Amy shows unusual and troubling behavior. Amy is believed to have a mental disorder known as borderline personality disorder, or BPD. BPD is characterized by extreme moods and emotions, impulsiveness, and the ability to have a stable relationship with others. Also, many people with BPD have trouble with their self-image and often see themselves as unworthy and not enough for people. This poor self-image can lead to self-harming behavior. Lastly, the biggest fear for people with this disorder is being alone and having no support from others. This causes people to be very persuasive and do extreme things to avoid being alone. Many of Amy's behaviors are similar to someone that has personality disorder. For example, Amy's many unstable relationships due to her lack of communication and empathy for others. Even though Amy lacked the connection with people, she was still able to persuade them to stay because she could act likable and friendly when needed. Amy would often idolize Nick and show intense love, but then randomly and suddenly become angry and upset by the relationship. Amy would show these mood swings towards Nick all the time, confusing him enough that he started to avoid her in fear of making her angry. Swings in mood, often going back and forth between a good state and a bad state, is often triggered by a change in the person's life, such as a move, or often just even a vacation. Recently, Nick and Amy moved to Missouri to live near his family and away from hers in New York City. This move with someone with this disorder, like Amy, would cause them a lot of stress and provokes the swings more often. After the move is when Amy and Nick's marriage began to crumble due to Amy's constant mood swings. Also, people with borderline personality disorder play a character to persuade people. In Gone Girl, Amy played the role of a battered and abused wife to make people pity her and believe that Nick was able to murder her. In the following movie clip, you will see different ways that Amy plays this role. She befriends her neighbors to portray herself as friendly. The clip also shows her planting various evidence against Nick, such as a diary, scavenger hunt. Also, she executes this character so well that she begins to believe the lies she is made, and so does Nick. Nick begins to doubt himself, and this is all his fault near the end of the movie. Amy wants to perform this character in front of the whole world, her audience, to get revenge on Nick for never giving her the attention she believed she deserved.
Everyone told us marriage is hard work. Not for me and Nick.
As you all know, my wife, Amy Elliott Dunn, disappeared 3 days ago. I had nothing to do with the disappearance of my wife. I had nothing to hide.
Amy got friends we can talk to?
No, not really.
You don't know if she has friends, you don't know what she does all day, and you don't know your
good guy, so everybody can see him being a good guy.
Boy, you really don't like him, do you?
All I'm trying to do is be nice to the people who are volunteering to help find Amy.
I will practice believing my husband loves me, but I could be wrong.
You ever seen that kind of glasses before?
Amy is the kind of girl who attracts admirers.
Whoever took her is bound to bring her back.
I'm hoping you can tell me what this means.
Solve Amy's treasure hunt?
Seen this girl around here.
Yeah, I remember her.
I know you. I saw you at the volunteer center.
I wanted to help.
What you want?
She wanted a gun. We are all scared, but we are all here now.
I feel like something to be jettisoned if necessary. I feel like I could disappear.
The hallmark of a sociopath is a lack of empathy. Amy lost a lot of blood in there, then somebody mopped it up.
Why do they mop up the blood if they're trying to stage a crime scene? Whatever they found, I think it's safe to assume that it's very bad.
I finally realized I am frightened of my own husband.
I would show you, as if you do in deposition, what to say, what not to say.
A trained monkey?
A trained monkey who doesn't get lethal injections.
She's going to eat you alive.
You assaulted her?
It's not good enough for you? I hit her?
It's not even close.
Absolutely not. I never touched her.
We now believe Nick is involved in the disappearance of our daughter.
Without a body, without a murder weapon, their only hope is a confession.
Don't know anything yet?
You need to tell me.
How was your marriage,
Are
Nick?
you asking me if I killed my wife?
Man of my dreams. This man of mine may kill me.
What about my son, Nick?
This man may kill me. In her own words.
This man may truly.
As you can see in the clip of the movie, Amy played the character well. She made the whole country believe that her husband killed her. This character she made up was to get revenge on Nick for making her never feel good enough. As we discussed before, people with borderline personality disorder have a poor self-image already, so her disorder should be blamed for her feelings, not Nick. But she's so deep into her character of what she thinks is reality, she can't believe that. To conclude, the actress did a great job portraying the real Amy and also the character Amy made up. The disorder that Amy was suffering from was very dramatic in the movie than it would be in real life. But Gone Girl is a great movie that shows a real disorder that real people suffer from.